Good evening, this is the Oscar Expert here with Brother Bro, and we're predicting the SAG nominations. SAG noms are on the 8th, so is DGA, and then WGA and ASC are the next day, and then PGA is the next day, and it's going to be so much information, so many things for me to know.
There have actually not been any nominations with 5 slots that are super competitive for acting categories, have there?
Right, that's right.
It feels like everybody's just been getting their flowers, but then when SAG comes around, we get some brutal snubs sometimes, and then other times we get contenders that we thought were dead or weren't happening at all. You want to start off with Ensemble, actually?
Yeah, let's do Ensemble. So I feel like the 5 is going to be very much a consensus 5. I mean, your app actually has up to 86% of people predicting number 5. That's how many people have this consensus. I honestly don't know if I can disagree with it. I don't know what's winning.
I have no fuck what's winning. My only wit is that Wicked is my number 1, and that's because just easiest to see that winning at the moment. But I do feel that Wicked has peaked.
We're over the peak a little bit,
slightly going down.
That's what
it's
I've been
still going to
saying.
be fine for nomination, but I don't think it's like when Astra on Critics' Choice went balls to the wall for it. I don't think we're going to see that again.
But maybe Wicked winning Ensemble is like when people thought Barbie was winning. This could actually be an indicator of what is the frontrunner for the Oscar, maybe, and maybe it's not. If Wicked wins, I'm going to say that that doesn't translate. If Conclave wins, it's a big sign of strength. If Amelia Perez or Honora wins, it's a big sign of strength. If Honora didn't get it, I'd be absolutely shell-shocked because at this point, I feel like it's just a sign of strength for the movie, and they've been really doing a good job promoting that ensemble.
Yeah, the fifth slot, I still have Sing Sing.
I
Sing
very
Sing's
hesitantly
been doing
have Sing Sing.
fine, but it isn't
Fine.
It's been doing fine.
I mean,
Like fine is like it's okay. It's been doing okay. That
It
was
made a
huge.
couple good BAFTA long lists. Apparently, casting wasn't eligible there, so that's kind of interesting.
Really, Sing Sing comes down to SAG performance and PGA, and I think it stands an okay shot for PGA. I think it stands an okay shot. If it gets 3 SAG nominations, yeah, baby,
Yeah,
we're
but
back.
that's the thing, buddy. Like, I don't know if Sing Sing is actually that strong to get 3 SAG nominations,
Right.
and I'm so worried
knows?
about it. I'm worried that A24 has simply not gotten the movie out, not gotten the word out. Not a lot of people saw the movie. Like, a lot of people don't know what it is. A lot of people don't know that it's like a movie they should see. Well, hopefully by now people have learned.
Yeah,
but
I know.
I'm concerned.
Well, listen, I mean, up to this point, critics have done their job in promoting the film enough that if you're paying attention to awards, if you're paying attention to what critics are doing, Sing Sing is on your radar. I do know that if they do see it, they're all actors. Of course, they all believe in the therapy of acting and the therapeutic powers of acting.
We know Coleman Domingo's getting nominated.
Right, I was going to say, it's not like nobody's going to fucking see it. I expect it'll be fine. If it's not fine, I'm going to kick, I will scream and kick, and that'll be that. I don't know how to be like, well, I actually think it's not going to get nominated in Piano Lesson or Saturday Night. Like, what else am I supposed to do? Actually, at this point, do you know what I would put in?
Complete Unknown.
A Complete Unknown.
That's number 6 for me, yes.
That's
absolutely,
definitely
100%.
number 6. It
Yes.
has a very strong ensemble. It's got 2 acting nominations.
It's surging right now.
In the bag.
It's surging right now
And
because
it's
it's
having a
peaking
surge.
and it's out.
That's one really to be scared for, honestly. The fact that they did Bohemian Rhapsody, remember that?
Bohemian Rhapsody made people cum their pants a little bit more. A Complete Unknown does make a lot of sense, though, man.
It makes a lot of sense.
That is going to be what kicks out Sing Sing.
If anything does. Or Honora. Sometimes I think, is Honora really getting this nomination?
Here's my worry. Sing Sing, like, is this going to be the first nomination body, aside from critics groups, that we look at it and we go, oh, hey, Sing Sing did well. It did exactly as well as it should have.
No,
because
Critics'
that's not
Choice.
even happening.
You said Critics' Choice.
I said aside from Critics' Choice.
Okay, so it's just BAFTA and Golden Globe right now.
That's a big
But also,
deal.
BAFTA, it did as expected with the long list. And so that really doesn't say much. It's kind of a wash. Like, of course it didn't make the top 10. Of course it didn't make director.
All I'm saying is we've been
supporting actor.
consistently disappointed, and SAG is not
No, we
always
haven't
making,
been consistently
and SAG is
disappointed.
not always making the best decisions on things.
Oh, have we been consistently disappointed?
Yes!
Where?
The Golden Globes was huge
Done.
L.
Golden Globes, huge L. I agree. That's it. BAFTA long list as expected.
I'm just saying that at this point, it kind of feels like 3 nominations at SAG for Sing Sing is a little wishful. A Complete Unknown's not that bad of a bet. Like, if that got
it's
nominated, I would say, yeah, that makes sense.
A bunch of people sing.
A bunch of people
It's got
playing
a bunch of celebrity
bunch of real people.
impersonations.
It's an actor's movie, kind of.
It makes a lot of sense.
Listen, what if Sing Sing gets Coleman Domingo and Clarence Macklin, but not Ensemble?
I'm not confident that they're going to nominate Clarence Macklin.
I am also fucking worried about that.
I think he's at number 5.
SAG doesn't like go out on a limb for little indies usually. Past
thing with
Lives
Sing-
got no nominations.
The thing with Sing Sing is, if you see it, like we've been saying, if you see it, it's so powerful. The ensemble is so
that sounds great,
magnificent.
but the Golden Globes didn't agree.
and they also do a decent job with diversity and nominating diverse casts.
Coda was a little indie that did very well,
Right.
but that had more visibility. Like people knew that. Oh, Women Talking they
guess.
went for. That was
Women
kinda,
Talking.
that had no
there's an
visibility.
indie that no one cared to see, and it got in. I honestly wonder sometimes if Honora would miss.
I agree. I think it's number 4. Do you think that Sing Sing still has an opportunity to win if it gets the 3 nominations it needs?
Sure.
Man, that would
Yeah.
be a huge rebound. Massive rebound.
That's the thing. Once you're nominated, I think anything can happen. Kind of like Coda.
I'm going to go with Sing Sing and
Yeah.
Complete Unknown's number 6. Everything else I don't really give a shit. I actually have September 5 at number 7. It's almost a trauma response to what happened at the Golden Globes. Saturday Night makes sense, so it's number 8, but it's also very done.
I think The Piano Lesson also makes sense, but it is also very done.
Netflix does well here, though.
Saturday Night and Piano Lesson are still shots. They have a shot.
The Brutalist is not going to make it.
It just won't.
Dune's not going to make it.
It just won't.
And yeah, that's it.
What about The Substance as a very long shot?
Who? 3 people? It's got a Best Actress. Honestly, this race is kind of interesting just because I think there's a world where Mikey Madison, Demi Moore, or Cynthia Erivo could win.
Amelia Perez is going to do dandy at SAG. In fact, I'm worried that it could win even.
Oh,
But
if Selena Gomez, if all 3 of them get nominated, then
They're gonna
that
get-
could
they're
win
all gonna-
Ensemble.
they're probably
Then
all
you'd
gonna
be
get
damn scared that it's getting Ensemble.
it's going to do just fine and dandy at SAG. The only debate worth having is over the 5th slot. You should not doubt the top 4. You really shouldn't. They all make SAG sense. So, the number 5, Angelina Jolie, as Beatty as the performance is, as much of like she's doing a voice, she's singing, she's like doing so much, but people don't give a shit so far. They BAFTA'd in Longlist the movie at all. They hated the movie. They despised it. They spat in its face.
It's a big biopic performance from a all-star actress, and it's campaigned by Netflix. There is no better combination of things to be. Ana de Armas and Blonde, both the Naiad actresses did well. You know, not Netflix, but like Javier Bardem, like Being the Ricardos did very well at SAG 2, got 2 lead acting nominations.
Let me just generate...
Biopic performances that are Beatty and Transformy do very well at SAG and in the awards race, and it's very easy for us to say, oh, like, we don't want the biopic performances and we're tired of this. The voting bodies are not tired of it.
I feel like the problem with Maria, and this is why A Complete Unknown has this going for it, I want to see that. I want to see that. People wanted to see Blonde because they know Marilyn Monroe. They want to see Naiad because they like, oh, that's the one about the lady who swam
Bro,
from
no one
Cuba to
knows who
Florida.
Diane Naiad is.
Okay, but they like that it's like the swimming movie. But I don't think anybody cares to see Maria. Like, that actually might be a pill that Netflix is having a really hard time getting people to swallow.
People probably would go to see it. They'd be like, hell yeah, Angelina Jolie, like, we haven't seen her act in a long time. Here she is, like, one of her best performances. Let's go. And they probably don't like the movie, but they probably like her.
The problem for me with an alternative is I don't know who else. I still think Amy Adams for Night Bitch has a shot. Night Bitch is actually not nowhere.
It's not nowhere. That's
It's not nowhere.
correct.
It got a Golden Globe nomination. It got longlisted for actress, which was surprising, and for screenplay.
It's not nowhere, and we know SAG has nominated Amy Adams a couple times. The Oscars haven't, but at the same time, you know what's interesting about her and Kidman? They've both gotten some surprise SAG nominations that make people say, "Oh, SAG loves this person because they go out for her all this time." But really, when you look at the total tally of Kidman and Adams, it's actually very similar to the Oscars, because the Oscars nominated Amy Adams for The Master and American Hustle, and SAG didn't do that. But SAG did it for Hellbilly Elegy, and, I mean, everyone did it for Arrival. Kidman got a surprise nomination for Bombshell, and I think she was nominated for The Paperboy, if I'm not mistaken.
She was.
They both have, you know, a couple good noms to their name.
They have good SAG cred.
Weirdly, the audience scores for Baby Girl kind of suck. I'm surprised. I don't really get it. But I feel like that's probably why Nicole Kidman has not been as strong. And why she missed that Critics' Choice.
I think people are just kind of mid on Baby Girl overall.
I mean, Maria, though, not much better. But I just think Maria, like, that performance is bigger. Actually, Maria has a 65% Rotten Tomatoes, go figure. I just think, you know, between all these other people who certainly have a chance, and by the way, if Jolie misses, like, oh my god, R.I.P.
Oh.
I think Pamela Anderson is a serious alt.
Yeah, it does feel like that could happen.
Even Jamie Lee Curtis feels like it could happen. Pamela Anderson would be an awesome nomination. Yeah. I would like to see it. You know, The Last Showgirl it's a tiny little movie. I don't know how out there it's gotten.
That also might have appeal, though. Like, oh, I would like to see the movie that she's in.
Baptiste, I don't feel like she would happen here. Like,
I just don't either.
The critics thing that you want to happen for the Oscars and that you're crossing your fingers, like, please, Academy, do justice for this critics pick, never happens at SAG. Never.
Yeah. No. It could still happen for Oscar, but not at SAG. Kate Winslet is a slim possibility.
Like, Kate Winslet is going to get the BAFTA nomination probably, and she has Golden Globe. Now, my diagnostic here is that Lee is a movie that exists overseas. I know a lot of people on the internet will see that there's been like a Frances Fisher shout out and like a Dwayne Johnson shout out for Kate Winslet, and they're going, "Oh, that's why Kate Winslet's doing well, is because she's being Andrea Riseborough'd." I actually think that the Globes and BAFTA, I mean, it's a British movie too. Like that movie made money in the UK. It made money in Europe, and that's why they're nominating it. It's because it's a movie that exists to them. Yeah. It doesn't exist to us over here. For SAG alone, they actually are banking off of that like grassroots campaign that Kate Winslet's throwing for herself.
Also, Zendaya, I just threw her in my list pretty far down. Like, what if?
I have June Squibb. June Squibb at the bottom.
And you know who's not literally not even worth a mention? It's Saoirse Ronan for the
Oh, please.
It's like barely even worth a mention.
Oh, Saoirse's over.
It's just not going to happen. Next, we have Best Actor. And this is another case of the top 4 is locked, and I don't want to hear anything about it. There's Adrian Brody.
Well, there's Timothée Chalamet at number 1, I think.
Okay.
Even if Brody wins the Globe tonight, I still think Timmy's very competitive for something, and it would be SAG.
Sure. I'm fine with that. And then you got Coleman Domingo and Ray Fiennes.
And then at the 5th slot, this is interesting, because a couple weeks ago, I was like, fuck it, Kingsley Benadier, because they have done that, but he's been out of sight.
He got longlisted at
BAFTA. They went for Jennifer Hudson and Respect, like, they'll do that shit. But I think that he's more Naomi Ackie and I Want to Dance with Somebody. We're not going with Daniel Craig. Like, he's not getting the SAG nomination. I've known this all along since I saw Queer. Since I saw Queer, I said he could maybe get the Oscar nomination, but he's not getting the SAG nomination because it's too weird. It's a weird the SAG not normal and they're not gonna like Queer at all. They're gonna fucking hate it. I think something else is going to happen here. I don't think he's going to be in the 5.
I'm considering Hugh Grant and Sebastian Stan for The Apprentice. So The Apprentice has been doing well, not with United Statesers, so I might just be inclined to go against that.
That's right. I could imagine.
Like, you're going to get SAG is pretty big. You're going to get a large-ass voting body to see that thing in the United States, people who are just completely disinterested.
I mean, Hollywood as a whole has rejected this film. They're rejecting it. They're saying, we don't want to see it. We don't want to look at it. We're too mad at the election. We don't want to hear about it. I think it'd be somewhat reasonable to see that The Apprentice did insanely well at the BAFTA long list. Say that Sebastian Stan and Jeremy Strong are both getting BAFTA nominations. Why would a Beatty, biopic makeup performance not do well here? Well, I think that, again, my diagnostic here is similar to Lee. It's something that does well with international voters.
Also, let me point to
the U.S. and Hollywood don't like the movie. They don't care about it.
Let me say, The Apprentice was shortlisted for makeup. It did get a mention. It wasn't completely ignored so far.
Whatever. Shortlisted for makeup, sort of whatever. Critics groups in the U.S. no see, no hear.
That's also because they don't like that kind of movie.
And that's why I feel like the safe answer here is Hugh Grant.
SAG is also not as allergic to genre.
Emily Blunt won for A Quiet Place.
Yeah.
They nominated Lupita for Us. He is having the signs of being like a serious, real contender. Like a big contender for the award. I mean, even BAFTA longlisted the film for screenplay, which I feel like was just a little extra something. The movie is palatable, the performance is big and flashy, and kind of easy to get on board with. He's been Critics' Choice and BAFTA longlist nominated. I think that things are going well for him.
Things are going well enough to predict him. So
also, people watched Heretic. Like, it made $27 million domestically.
Yes.
People watched it.
Yes. I think that might be the most reasonable thing to do. Hugh Grant and Heretic. It'll happen at SAG, and then he won't get the Oscar nomination. That'll go to Daniel Craig.
Any long shots? How about Glenn Powell, Hitman, Joel Jerome, Unstoppable,
and Jesse
Eisenberg, Real Pain?
Yeah, I wonder if Unstoppable is doing like a very SAG-targeted campaign and trying to get Jennifer Lopez a nomination.
Supporting actress. So Ariana Grande and Wicked, we think is going to win SAG right now.
Yeah, I think it's close, but...
Saldana is going to be nominated for Emilia Perez. I think that Margaret Qualley will be nominated for The Substance.
So too.
She's coming along everywhere. That feels SAG-friendly to me. The Substance as a whole feels SAG-friendly.
Popcorn entertainment, in a sense.
And she's gotten every nomination. Who else has gotten every nomination so far? Isabella Rossellini. She's doing well. Conclave's going to be a big presence here. Maybe they could snub her. Maybe she would get snubbed for her lack of screen time and still get BAFTA and still be okay at the Oscar.
See, that's what I think will happen.
To Rossellini?
Yes. Ha! Ha! You're gonna laugh in my face for that? Crazy! Bro, think about, like... Even Judd Hirsch and The Fabelmans, they always nominate the...
Judd Hirsch didn't get SAG and... He didn't get Critics' Choice and Golden Globe.
They nominated Paul Dano over him. They like when you have screen time. They don't do these, like, micro performances.
Well, she's been doing really well for a micro performance.
Did they nominate Kieran Hines in Belfast? Or did they nominate Jamie Dornan, or both?
They didn't nominate either.
Oh, they just didn't nominate... Yeah, they don't do micro performances.
That's not a micro performance.
What's not?
The Belfast boys.
Kieran Hines? Kieran Hines is a micro performance.
Not micro.
Well, he didn't get nominated.
Okay, they nominated Chadwick Boseman for Five Bloods, but, you know, there are other factors.
That was
there.
kind of a micro.
Sam Elliott was a bit of a micro performance. They nominated him. They do like co-leads, though, I will say. They like when you're the co-lead. They like when you're Eddie Redmayne in The Good Nurse. They like when you're Ben Affleck at The Tender Bar. Steve Carell, Battle of the Sexes.
And by the way, speaking of co-lead, that's also why I think Margaret Qualley looks really good here. You know, also Selena Gomez has a lot of screen time.
I just don't know who else you have, so let's keep going.
Cool. We didn't establish that we both have Selena Gomez in, right?
I have Selena Gomez in.
I just do. I just think Emilia Perez will hit right with SAG. They're gonna like it a lot. It's been loved by every fucking major awards body so far, and you know, even BAFTA might nominate Selena Gomez.
BAFTA might nominate.
They're going to
Selena
nominate
Gomez.
2 people from that movie at least. Let's talk about Deadweiler. Like, you just think that's just not going to happen, or what?
No, I mean, Deadweiler would make sense here. They nominated her for Till. They've been really into the August Wilson adaptations, and in fact, both lead performances from those 2 films all won. So there are 4 SAG awards collected from the August Wilson films. Netflix is good with SAG, so she's like 5 or 6 to me. Now, my concern is just that the piano lesson is R.I.P., no one cares, goodbye Zongo, like, it just is not getting the same attention that the other August Wilson films
they
had.
are campaigning the film a lot, and it would do well at SAG. Like, it is an interesting film to actors. You know, she got Critics' Choice. She did not get...
She missed
Golden
the BAFTA
Globe.
long list, buddy.
She missed BAFTA long list.
That was bad. She missed the 6 nominations of the Golden Globes. That was also bad.
I'm not considering Felicity Jones for The Brutalist. I have a feeling that's just not going to happen here.
I mean, I'm considering it. I just think they're going to snub it.
Yeah, I just think it's going to get snubbed.
She has not been doing flawlessly. They only nominated 1 actor from The Master. I don't know why that's relevant, but it's relevant to me.
Ingenue Ellis-Taylor feels a little bit too far out for them as well.
The guilds aren't going to go for Nickel Boys that hard.
Now, here's something I could see. If A Complete Unknown Love is really strong, I wouldn't be shocked if one of the actresses got in for that.
I agree that
Monica Barbaro and Elle Fanning.
It would be Monica Barbaro. Let's be real.
I think they're contending here. She has yet to be accoladed. She didn't even get longlisted at BAFTA, so I can't really put her in. Like, I can't go all out. But sometimes things pop up at SAG that are unexpected. Natasha Lyonne's gone. Saoirse Ronan is gone.
No. Natasha Lyonne's not gone.
Really?
They could maybe pull her out of the hat, but it's very unexpected.
Yeah, here's another person I think could be pulled out of the hat. Jennifer Lopez in Unstoppable. Just because it may be possible that Unstoppable is like doing a stealth acting campaign with her and Jarrell Jerome. You know, it would be smart for them. I feel like they would have a shot here because it's this like friendly sports movie. There's a lot that could happen.
And Jamie Lee Curtis for The Last Showgirl.
And Jamie Lee Curtis, that probably has weirdly might have a shot.
Deadweiler has a good case, but I just think the movie could be really R.I.P. and be like, wow, it can't even get SAG. Wow.
See, Ruth Negga in passing really gives me hope that they would do Deadweiler. It was a lone nominee, it was Netflix, and she didn't even get nominated for Critics' Choice for that.
What about the fact that, you know, Piano Lesson is going to be the first of these August Wilson movies that's not an ensemble? What is wrong with Rossellini, though? Like, she got nominated.
It's micro.
She's going to get everything else. And Conclave's
there's
gonna
no-
do well.
there's no-
Conclave's gonna do well.
Like, I was never expecting Rossellini to get nominated everywhere. I thought it would be like, oh, she gets a snub at either Critics' Choice or SAG, and then she gets BAFTA Oscar.
The fact that she's been getting it everywhere.
She's gonna take a hit somewhere. That's my feeling. I'm kind of like, can she really keep doing this?
Why not?
You're doing it because it
She's
happened.
campaigning a lot. Like, it's just working. That she's part of Conclave.
I think SAG has like a slightly different personality where they might not do it. And Deb Weiler's in it is basically a lead too.
It does work. The Netflix, the co-lead, the August Wilson. I guess you've convinced me about Danielle Detweiler, man. Putting her back in, even though I took her out. I said, fuck her, they're throwing that in the garbage. But, all right, supporting actor. Kieran Culkin probably wins. Guy Pearce getting nominated.
Of course.
Edward Norton,
He's
Zippo,
in.
locked. Can't believe some people, not everyone thinks so. He's like easily locked for this.
Yeah, and Denzel Washington, I think, still is going to get in here.
Yeah.
And it'll be his last nomination.
Unless...
Because he's not going to get BAFTA or Oscar.
Unless he
I don't
shockingly misses and it's like, oh... That's how they
yeah.
feel about Gladiator 2,
think.
huh?
That would be huge.
But here's the thing. SAG likes their names, and they love Denzel Washington. Who are the two non-names here? Clarence Macklin and Yuri Borisov.
Right.
I think that one of them's missing.
I know we see this as a race between 6 people, but I guess other than that, you have Brian Tyree Henry, Jonathan Bailey for Wicked, which isn't happening.
Brian Tyree Henry is interesting, but he just hasn't been happening.
Yeah,
Stanley Tucci for Conclave.
He could maybe pop up here again, like a sports drama, and he's also again like a co-lead in the film, essentially.
Yeah.
I could see it, but I don't know where that film is, so it's like,
Yeah,
why would I go out on a
know
limb
where
for
it
it?
is.
I think that actually the person who has the best shot here, outside of the top 6, is Jeremy Strong for The Apprentice, because that's a co-lead
I think
performance.
it's Brian Tyree Henry.
Really?
They go with celebrities so much that neither Clarence Macklin nor Yuri Borisov is that likely.
I think Macklin has a better shot than Borisov.
I feel like I'm just going to go with Clarence Macklin.
This is our last stand with Sing Sing. You either go all in or you go home.
Stunts.
The Fall Guy is the movie that's going to get nominated that is not really contending for any awards this season, and like including visual effects. Wicked's going to get nominated. Dune will get nominated.
Dune,
and
Wicked,
then there's
and Fall Guy,
Gladiator,
yeah.
which is like pretty obvious, I think. You know, that had a lot
Well,
of
they
stunts
didn't
in it.
nominate Napoleon.
And then it's like Furiosa or Deadpool. And then long shot would be like Monkey Man, Civil War, Bad Boys, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, Twisters.
Monkey Man would be cool, but I don't. But are they that cool?
They do a Marvel movie. This is easy to be easy.
I think
I'm doing
Deadpool's
Deadpool.
probably getting nominated.
I'm saying Deadpool.
It feels
That's just gonna
like
happen.
Furiosa should be getting nominated, but it's been getting shat on a lot lately, and I worry that that will continue here. I think Gladiator 2 is just generally kind of in the tech conversation this year. Although Furiosa, like, damn.
stunts are
for that
obviously
to miss,
insane.
I think Wicked's making it because they watched videos of Cynthia Erivo on strings.
Yeah.
And Barbie made it.
Alien's probably possible.
All right, and those are our SAG predictions. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing.
What's your SAG hunch?